actually how it's going to be. And we're developing everything in SM5 now instead of Dx11 because of performance. So everybody should be able to run our games, even older generation PCs. Because when it comes to Unreal, like in other engines, Dx12 is fine, but when it comes to Unreal Engine, it's just not stable. So we are not working that anymore. This is what I got so far, so I'm going to be coding this today. I got to work with, actually, there's a system I got in place, so when the player runs out of stamina, if they hold it for too long, they'll die. So there'll be this countdown. I gotta actually make a HUD. I don't know if we're gonna keep the health bar on. It's kind of just there so I know what the player's health is at, because we do have blood on screen. I walk over here. So I just took damage. That was like a damage test volume. No. Yeah, I gotta still refine this. I think I did. No, I didn't die. I gotta still refine this climbing system. And for our second game, I decided to put more blood on screen to really obscure the vision of the player, because vision is everything. It's the main component of this game is climbing. The other thing is, I gotta put in like this delay. But the thing so this needs to be fixed. The bones. It's kind of a... I mean, yeah, the bones the neck bone needs to be fixed with the procedural climbing. Oh, I thought he would have rolled there. Guess I was a bit too high. But the player can choose to either like climb like up faster using the ledge climbing, or they could like actually get all the way to the top. You know, if we go around this corner here, corners are a bit tricky actually with this system. But yeah, so this will be one of the. Oh, this guy's. Oh yeah, that's a lot of damage. I wonder if I could. Yeah, I'm dead. So that's essentially death. That's the wrong screen. But I won't be working that perspective right now because I need to figure out these coding issues. But yeah, I put it to 15 seconds. So now, with the code active that I quickly connected again to my main stamina system, you can see kind of obviously that's not going to be there. That's just for developer stuff. But then if the player abuses, I need a timer to actually show the player what they're at, because the timer doesn't reset. And I could code that in, but then I was like, that's kind of cheesy. Because essentially I want to train the player to not rely off abusing the stamina system. Because if they abuse the currents, because more or less I'm putting it in so the float thing is like a gameplay mechanic I kind of want to keep in. But if they abuse it, you die. So you're dead. So that is more or less what I'm going for, is a gameplay mechanic where the player has to watch their stamina, judging by the amount of blackness around their screen. And I might end up even getting, because in Call of Duty and past games, they don't have a health bar, they just have blood around the screen. So every time the player gets damaged, we go over here, go to my damage block. So the player is damaged, there's blood on screen and kind of, you know, there's some like, it kind of sits there for a bit. The grace time's 10 seconds, so And and then, you know, they heal up. So then when the blood's off the screen, the player knows they're full health. And I just kind of have the health bar there as a representation, so I can, as the dev, you know, and then it's pretty graceful. I mean, I could still take more damage yet. You know, and I could heal from this. So I think that's pretty fair. As you see, after 10 seconds, we start to heal. Similar to other games like Call of Duty and stuff, and I'm pretty much taking inspiration from that. So yeah, eventually, before release, I'll get rid of the health bar. I'm just kind of keeping track of the health system if I want to adjust something before release. But yeah. Well, right now our guy's kind of looking like Spider-Man. We'll be replacing it where he actually has climbing tools, and his hands will not be flat on the wall. I just need to figure out how to do that, so yeah. But let me get coding what I need to fix first. Well, that's just one piece of the puzzle that we're working on today. I like how that's turned out with my font and everything. That actually looks really cool for like a stamina. Doesn't switch though. I guess that's okay. I kind of wanted to switch symbols when it's used. I literally did a different symbol. What the hell, man? Oh, I guess I should be showing this. Right now I'm testing for two things. First thing is, this is obviously my test camera, so players won't be seeing this. Most players won't care. But there is an issue where the head is like kind of like being left behind, and the head on this character is actually attached to the arms are attached to the head. So because the head is being left behind, it kind of like, it doesn't actually look too bad in first person, but I don't know, it would be nice to fix. Because like this, I mean, it's not noticeable because the head gets forced up. So, but this is procedural, and you know, procedural can have a few things about it. And then the thing I would like to try and fix that the player also more or less I'm trying to fix things that the player can't see, but I feel like the feeling would be better if I can fix them. Is like that. Like, oh, this is gamers are definitely gonna be like, what is this? Just release the game already. It's like I'm working on it. Working on it, little Jimmy. Getting a bit of weird stuttering there. Oh my god. Okay, so I fixed the... Yeah, so if you can't... I fixed all the bone issues, so all those warnings are done. It's a bit weird. Climbing down's a bit weird. I don't know if I might be able to adjust some settings to kind of work with the neck. But... maybe it's a good thing that the camera actually goes through the arm, because then you can kind of see where you're going. It's not like too bad. Like, it feels nice to be climbing. I think you did that front flip thing during that time, like, what just happened? I can't even speak, what the fuck? Yeah, I think you just did it again. So, I don't know. It's procedural, what can I say? Now, I need to change the hands and obviously the mesh. This is just like the test mesh. The blue ALS guy is not gonna be our mesh, obviously. My brother has actually designed the character for this. I needed, there's some sort of foot issue with the mesh. Like, stretching is weird. And he fixed it, and I still haven't tried to make sure it's fixed, but... oh, damn. Now that we fixed the bones, this actually does feel a lot better. The arms aren't like... when you're climbing up, the arms aren't like going through his head. When you are climbing down, so I'm not actually moving the head with my mouse. The head is moved with the direction you're climbing when you're in climbing mode. But you know, now I'm moving my mouse. So when you're in the procedural, by pressing left click, when you're in climbing mode, then it's pretty much, it's all about WASD controls, kind of like tank controls. The head is, yeah, when you're going down, it's doing a diagonal look. It's kind of, because it's, the problem is that when the head goes through the arms. But to fix that issue, since it is a first-person game, we'll just make the head invisible. And that should fix that collision head issue, maybe. But even if it's invisible, I don't know, because the camera is going to be parented to the head for true first person. So it still might kind of like bug out with that. And unless I interpolate it to a different camera, I haven't tried that yet. I don't know if I want to do that. Where like when you're in climbing mode and you're going down. But then see, it's good there. It's just like diagonal. Like that's pretty clean. I think I've done a pretty good job. Okay. I can show this. I don't want to... Like, if I ever use this in a multiplayer game, obviously I would have to figure out that one T-pose thing. Because all the other T-posing I fixed already, like when you jump off a wall and stuff. It's just like, if you don't, like, climb up like this, then, and there's like this automatic, like, push-up thing. When you get to edge, it's like, so about like there. It'll push you up and it'll like go in between the disabled animate, because you're still in climbing mode, there's no animation for that because it's procedural. So I would essentially, if I ever wanted to do this in a multiplayer game, disable that so the player is forced to press spacebar to climb up. But it doesn't matter for this game because it's single player, so I'll just, you know, it's first person, you can't even see that happening, so I'll just leave that. It's not a big deal. But anybody watching this will be like, whoa, that's what's happening behind the scenes, which is like, whatever. Other thing I remembered I gotta fix is like the player, if they spam left click while climbing, they can like kind of bug out the character and also like spam climb up. So you just like run, spam climb. So I need to, I think that's actually a pretty simple fix, just like a lot of this is. So that's another thing I gotta fix in the actual character blueprint. Which you know what? I'm gonna see if I can do that now in the procedural climbing. I actually have a macro for spamming that I learned like a year ago when I first started coding. I put to like 1, 2 seconds. What is this tattoo? Branch. I go like this. Let's see. I'm not gonna show this because I want to see if it even works. Okay, I already fixed that using my macro. So as you can see now, the macro I coded in like a while ago, you can't spam it. There's a 2-second, like, yeah. So if you're dumb enough to let go of the wall, then you're screwed. I don't know. I could also do 1 second. I don't know. Maybe 2 seconds is too long. It's 500 animations and it really, like, because this is using blend spaces in blending and code to have a nice locomotion. That's why I like working with the ALS space, but I don't know if we'll switch to the instead of using like code for blend space and stuff, but use motion matching. So, and that's what they released with 500 plus animations. Oh, I screwed up. So yeah, it's possible. So